Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we were watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome back, Steve.
Thanks for having me, Ben, in my own house.
Thanks for inviting me.
Week after week.
Yeah, this is episode 185. Can you imagine? We're getting to that, close to that 200. So we got to actually talk about what we're doing, because our 100 was the Chris Evans retrospective, and there hasn't really been like an actress that has been as, I don't even want to call Chris Evans influential, but like important to this podcast.
Yeah. So like it was kind of like a running bit, but also like Chris Evans typically makes good stuff.
He's awesome.
So there's actors that I'm sure like has made lots of good stuff, but we're like, we haven't started a bit with that.
Yeah, and I think like if it's one of those, if you could be any actor, like go back in time and live the life of that person, like I would totally pick Chris Evans. But yeah, there's not like an actress. I'm like, I would like to do an actress for that, but is there someone, besides, people we may like lust after, but like that shouldn't count.
Yeah, I also don't want to like put that
that shouldn't be a whole celebration or anything. So we gotta think, and maybe it could be another actor. Yeah, it's fine. I just figured we should be an actress. But anywho, this week, I mean, that's 15 weeks from now. We got plenty of time to think on that. But this week, weird week, kind of a mixed bag of things being released. And instead of doing any of the big releases in theaters, we're doing a straight to Netflix movie. Where it's War Machine, starring
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richson. It's not Richardson. It's just Richson. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's annoying. I hate saying his name every time because it should be Richardson, but no.
Change your name. Famous guy who could beat us up easily.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to talk about the new releases because I do my due diligence of seeing everything humanly possible. I also got a lot of other little things to talk about.
You represent the freaks, I represent the normies, and we meet in the middle.
Sure, somewhere. Yeah, okay. You could say that, especially about one of the movies I saw. Let's roll a die.
13? Yes, 13. Okay. All right, on the slightly higher side.
Oh, off the table. Doesn't count. Do over. Oh, shit. And someone's microphone.
Well, it looked like a 5.
Oh, well.
It's a 5.
Okay. Jesus. Like, you were getting this role no matter what.
Nice try, loser.
I don't have any news or trailers. I think there was a bunch of trailers, but I just didn't write them down on in my notes app. So, yeah, Steve?
I don't recall anything jumping out at me.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll start off with something that I haven't completed, but I just want to put on the radar out there.
Okay. I got a couple of those.
I finished the first compendium to the Invincible comics, which is issue 0 to 48? Okay. No, 47.
Okay. About 4 years worth of comics?
Yeah. So there's 144 in total, not including, I think there's like side comics or whatever that's included in these compendiums. Now, obviously, I've seen all of this stuff up in the animated show already, so there was no real major surprises, but it was kind of fun to see the slight variations.
But season 1's pretty faithful to the comic, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They definitely like expanded on things to sort of like pad some time, but all in all, it's pretty much, if you watch the show, you've read the comic.
Yeah.
The only like major differences, and I wouldn't even say they're major differences, they're just like slight character choices, which I think were all smarter for the show, is Invincible's friend was not gay in the comics. He's gay in the show.
Okay.
His girlfriend, Amber, who everyone hated, was not a black girl. It was a blonde white woman. And then Shrinking Ray was a man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now, it doesn't happen a lot. There's only like 2 or 3 incidents of it happening. But I think it was a smart choice to make Invincible's friend gay because, now this was 2005 when this came out, but like Invincible would fly his friend around and be like, this is so gay. Or I think it was Invincible might have said it. He said retarded at one point, like this is
Nice.
retarded, and it was just like a running joke that
And
anytime
it's a good
he's
thing they made his girlfriend retarded. So
yeah, so it was a smart choice to go like okay, we'll make him gay so that like if we make this joke, I don't even remember if they do in the show, but it's
hmm
kind of like it's more
yeah,
funny than like we don't say that anymore kind of thing.
it's funny for a gay guy to call something gay than a straight person
Sure.
to say something is gay.
But I think they pretty much covered. But it also gave their friend who got turned into a robot by that like mad
Mm-hmm.
scientist who his friend like gets with or like starts dating. Like that was just a buddy of theirs who just like disappeared.
Mm.
So like it gives William a little bit something more to do like involved in the story because now he has a connection to this other person,
Okay.
which is a nice choice. Uh, an entire cast of like 90% white people. Having his girlfriend be black just added something else other than just like, oh, here's another like Invincible. Who do you want? The blonde one or the redhead one? It's like
Mm-hmm.
not that you get what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
adds like variety to the show that wasn't there before. And then also with Shrinking Ray, I haven't gotten to the point where Rex has gotten into the show
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the Invincible War, but like having that choice, I think is good of making Shrinking Ray a woman because it gives Rex a redemption arc
Mm-hmm.
in sort of like a
Sure.
dating sense because he was shitty to
Eve.
Eve and then Duplicate breaks his heart because she gets with the
Immortal.
Immortal, and so like as far as I'm aware between the comic and then the things that go on, nothing ever really changes. Like he's a better person, but he doesn't like have any redemption. It's just like okay, well I see why that was shitty to do to Eve, and
Mm.
that's it. Well now it's like now I start seeing Shrinking Ray and developing a relationship, and like the things I've learned have made me better, and I think that was a nice choice. Um,
Yeah. Sometimes you need to be able to step back from your work and gives you a chance to reinterpret it, just like with Walking Dead or any comic adaptation. Like, well, this villain was a little racist. Maybe we don't need to do it as exact, or oh, they totally were oblivious to just like gender swapping this, and you could add so much more to the story. So
yeah,
yeah, sometimes you just need a little distance.
yeah, these changes are like you could argue are big for like that character because it's such a change from what they were,
Hmm
but it gives them so much more to do and so much more involvement in the story by like making these small changes that don't really affect us like the overall story in the slightest. So we'll see what else changes from the show and the comics, but so far, really faithful adaptation and really good comic. I see why it's a success both in comic form and show form.
So you're
Some
not at the Invincible War yet. Where did the comics leave off?
So it ended with Alan getting captured by the Viltrumites.
Okay.
So him and Omni Man haven't like broken out of prison yet,
Okay.
and then for Invincible, it was like his brother is still young,
Okay.
like a kid. He hasn't like started training his brother in superhero stuff yet, and him and Amber just broke up, and him
Okay.
and Eve kissed, but they're not dating yet.
So beginning of season 4 or into season 3, right? Or
What are you talking about? That's like
we've only had 3 seasons,
we've
right?
only had three
Okay,
seasons.
so you're like at the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, around there.
I don't remember.
I would
Sure,
assume so.
season two. Yeah, yeah. I looked it up. I think from where we're at in the show, we're in like issue like 65
Okay.
actually. So
Dang,
yeah,
we got a lot of story to go.
yeah. So it seems like roughly every like 20 issues or so is a 10 episode season
Okay,
of Invincible,
that makes
give
sense.
or take a few issues
Hmm
here and there.
And they move things up sooner. That happen later for convenience or logic.
Yeah. I think there's like some things that were like slightly moved around, but for TV purposes they moved it. But it all works, and I look forward to reading. I just downloaded the next compendium, so for the next like week or two, I'll be chipping away at that. Just a
Okay.
couple issues every day.
Cool. All right. I watched 3 shows, or I should say, I started 3 shows, um, and they're still on their runs, but I'll go through them real quick.
You know, when I did this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I started thinking, you're like, nobody cares, Steve. You and Nick rip into me for, like, having something to talk about that I didn't finish. But here you are with 3 of them. No, fuck you. I don't even want to hear about them now.
All right. Okay, let's move on.
I'm not a piece of shit. Tell me what you're going to say. You need to pad time anyway.
So we talked about last time it was on, but Monarch Legacy of Monsters came back, and I wasn't going to watch it. And everyone said, we get why you fell off or didn't like season 1. You gotta watch season 2. First 2 episodes are out, and it's wild. You gots to see it.
And who said all this?
Internet people.
Sure, okay.
People probably paid to tell me that. There is some really fun action in these first 2 episodes, but I fucking hate these characters so much. They did not get better. They are still the dumbest motherfuckers. Like, okay, so at the end of the last season, they had to leave him behind, Kurt Russell, old Kurt Russell, in the Hollow Earth and get through the portal. And now they are all in modern time, including Grandma. You know, she has time traveled to the future now.
And then young Kurt Russell is with them too?
No, young Kurt Russell is old Kurt Russell because he aged normally.
Sure, I just wasn't sure if there was some weird time.
There was no like double there. No. Like she was in the center Hollow Earth with Kurt Russell. He got to leave. And when he got back, it was like the 80s. So he skipped ahead a couple of decades. And then when he got back to her, now he's an old man, but it only had been like 50 days for her.
Oh.
So she's now in modern time talking to her granddaughter, her son, you know, like, but she looks, you know, her age. They're like, we gotta go back. Kurt Russell wouldn't leave us behind. We gotta save him. They're like, we can't do it. It's fucking King Kong is going fucking nuts right now because there's a rift and we're pissing him off. You don't know what you're gonna send through. And what's her name from Shogun?
Anna Sawai?
Yeah. She's like, you know, she's dog shit in the show. And she's just like, I'm going to have to do it. And so, of course, all the young people go off and do it on their own. They go back to Hollow Earth to bring him back. They don't ever talk about, like, how much time he lost. It should have been, you know, a week at least, but they don't mention it. And they get him back, but then they bring back the biggest fucking horrible monster in existence. And they're like, holy shit, this thing could, like, destroy the world. And then she's like sitting there going, boo hoo, woe is me. Like, I shouldn't have done it. What have I done? And everyone's like, it's all right. It's okay. Like, no, fucking murder this girl. She just like put this doomsday monster in our planet. And everyone's just like being nice to her. Everyone's making the dumbest decisions. They're flying a drone after this thing. And Kurt Russell's just like, you got to get it lower. Like, we can't. The waves will knock it down. And like, we got to do it. And like forces the joystick down to get too low. And then, of course, it crashes. And he's just kind of like, oopsie. And it's like, are you fucking serious? You, of all people, know how serious this shit is. And they're just acting like morons. They're the dumbest fuckers on this show. I hate it so much.
I didn't finish season 1, and I saw the trailer, and I was like, there's some shots in this that look super cool, but I just don't care.
This really is a wait till it's over and someone makes a supercut of all the monster shit, because that's the stuff that's important. Everything else is dog shit. Every character is awful. So, pass. Probably not gonna watch any more of that.
Also, like, I know it's just, like, the only thing you can really do, but it's just, I hate it to such a crux of just, like, we've never established this kind of monster before, but we need to give Godzilla and King Kong someone even bigger to fight than last time. It's always just like, this unleashes this thing. Oh, how did we never... Oh, this thing was even under the subterranean. It's like, oh my god, who cares? Just
and this one just seemed like it was just out and about. We just had never seen it before. You know, just walking around, saw an opportunity to go into the portal.
Kong feed.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck up.
All right.
That just sucks.
So then that's my no rec. Then I have a medium rec because I've only watched one episode of it. It's a new HBO show called DTF St Louis. So this has
Good cast. The
yeah.
trailer didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, it's about these lonely guys that he's a weatherman and his like sign language translator. They become buddies and they both realize they're kind of lonely. They're not getting it from their wives like they used to, and so they get on an app called DTF St Louis. And then one of the guys, Hopper from Stranger Things,
David Harbour.
thank you. He ends up dead. He's just dead in the like a public park's bathroom, and he has like it looks like a Playgirl centerfold. It's like a naked cowboy man, and like, oh well, he must be gay. And like, well, there's no indication that he is. And then they're looking at cameras, and Jason Bateman was the last one to see him. Like, are they hooking up together? And so it's flashing back from into like after his death to before his death, like, and Jason Bateman is sleeping with David Harbour's wife. Like they have a flirty thing, so they start doing it, but then she wants to cut it off. And so maybe was that enough for a reason for him to kill David Harbour? And so there's all these.
So it's just a crime mystery thriller.
Yes, but it is a comedy. It's very silly. Like the way they talk, I don't know how to describe it. It's not natural, and like their conversations feel very written, and but that's not like a bad thing. It's just a unique. I don't want to say a unique way of acting, but they just are giving performances that are not. It's not like you're watching Ozark.
Sure.
You know, it just has a. I don't know, a veil of weirdness to it that you just gotta have to kind of experience yourself. But so far, I'm into it. You know, I like all these people. I'll keep watching it.
Okay, let me know how it goes.
And then,
do you know how many? Do you know about? Jesus Christ. Do you know how many episodes it is?
No, but it's HBO, so 6, 8, or 10.
6, 8, or 10. Got it.
And then my last TV rec. This is the high rec. It's called The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. This is
the Daniel Radcliffe, Tracy Morgan show, right?
Exactly. And it's from the creator of like Kimmy Schmidt and one of the writers of 30 Rock.
Oh.
It's very much in that vein. It's or something like a Modern Family or The Office, where it's like a documentary crew is watching Reggie Dinkins, but Daniel Radcliffe is the documentary guy, so they acknowledge it. Whereas like in The Office, they don't really acknowledge the documentary people until later seasons. This is from the get-go of, we want to follow him because he's a football player, Tracy Morgan, who was the best. He was the greatest. Everyone loved him. And he admitted that he gambles on football. But he only gambled on them winning. He wasn't trying to like lie and cheat or try to get a payout. He's like, no, it was just a motivator to make me do better. And so he lost it all. And like he was kicked out of the league, and the team, I think it's the Seahawks that he's part of, or the Jets.
Oh, okay.
They go to the Super Bowl. It was like right before the Super Bowl, and they get their ass handed to them. So everybody hates him, and he's just been kind of shut in his huge mansion. And so Daniel Radcliffe wants to make a documentary about him. He is also a like kind of a wonder kid documentary filmmaker that gets an opportunity to make a Marvel film. And so they showed like the viral video of him crashing out because it's just a blue screen with like a million tennis balls, and it's like that one's supposed to be a spaceship, but this one's a time machine, and that one's actually just supposed to be a tennis ball because this is a tennis match. And he loses his mind, so he's trying to get his redemption arc by redeeming Reggie Dinkins. His wife is his manager, or I should say ex-wife is still his manager. They have a son together. He's remarried to this like hot young influencer thing. But one of the stars, the standouts of it, is Bobby Moynihan. He was like a kicker on the team, or like a second string kicker on the team, and he's just a big loser and became friends with Reggie, so he just lives in the basement with them, and he always just pops in with some funny thing. I did not have much faith in this, but Daniel Radcliffe is just one of those guys that he's got the money to do whatever the fuck he wants. He's not going to make some bullshit thing cash grab because he's fucking Harry Potter. So that piqued me. And then hearing that it was from one of the creators of like Kimmy Schmidt, I'm like, oh, I bet this is going to be very much like a 30 Rock. And it is. It's not as extremely crazy as that, but uh, so I just I I've seen the first 3 episodes, and you know what? It's winning me over. It's very funny. You kind of just what these types of fake reality shows are like. I don't know. There's just something to something new to see that is just like I don't know when's the last time I watched basic cable sitcom type stuff. This is a Peacock show, or an NBC, I should say. It's on Peacock, but it's on NBC as well. Highly recommend. I'm really digging it, and I hope it sticks around and it can be something. But someone like Daniel Radcliffe, I can't see him sticking around for 10 seasons on this thing. But I like, oh yeah, what I was saying before, like, he picks weird things like Swiss Army Man and Guns Akimbo, and then like he did Miracle Workers, which was such a weird thing. Like, why are you doing a TBS show, Daniel Radcliffe? That just seems weird.
But you liked Miracle Workers.
I love Miracle Workers. Yeah. Like Miracle Workers, I want to own those DVDs.
He just wants to do the shit
he thinks is good, and like, okay, well, I have faith in him.
Not to compare him to Elijah Wood, because he always gets compared to Elijah Wood, but like Elijah Wood's also one of those people who's just like, yeah, I made the fucking Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. And he just like does a bunch of weird shit. Open Windows, that movie's not very good, but kind of a fun time.
Yeah, and then, like, he was in The Monkey last year for like 10 seconds. He didn't need to do that.
Oh, yeah, who's he in The Monkey?
He was
he was the
new husband or something.
That's right.
Yeah. So I just have faith that Daniel Radcliffe will steer me in the right direction. I love that dude, especially for someone who doesn't watch Harry Potter. Like, I don't see him as that. I just like him in these comedic roles. He's very good. Everyone's really good. I really enjoy it. I'd say the son is the weakest, but it's 3 episodes in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have Peacock. I do have access to NBC.
Yeah, you do. It's like, you could just on demand it.
Yeah, I will.
You should definitely watch that.
I have to give it a shot. No, is it? My last question, then we can move on. Is it in the same, like with 30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt? It was just like you couldn't even take a breath without there being like another joke.
It's not as rapid fire as that, but there is still lots of jokes. Yeah.
Cool. I will check it out. Not to, I feel like there's a lot of people who's like Tracy Morgan is like kind of a legend in the comedy realm, and all the stuff that he's done. But like, I've never been like a Tracy Morgan guy outside of 30 Rock, which I've never even finished 30 Rock. But like watching the 2 or 3 seasons of it that I did, it's like he's really funny on that show. Yeah. But I've never seen him in anything else where I was like, man, Tracy Morgan's fucking killing it here. Yeah,
he's got a bunch of shows.
He's got a bunch of stuff.
But he's just Tracy Morgan in a lot of them. So if you like Tracy Morgan in 30 Rock, you'll like him in this, because he's pretty much the same guy.
Yeah. Because that was it's just like anything else I've ever seen. And I was like, he just not doing anything for me. So whenever I see a new Tracy Morgan show, I'm like, I'm not going to watch that shit.
It's just the same shit.
Daniel Radcliffe doing it? That's kind of cool, but like,
I thought the pairing of them, like, what a weird combination. I could see both of them being on this show with a different person being across from them, but it works. And then Bobby Moynihan, and he's got a stupid like handlebar or mustache goatee thing going on, and he's just like a big goofy idiot. It's great.
Yeah, I think Daniel Radcliffe just seems to have the ability to just work with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just finds whatever, like he plays his part and just knows what to do, and it's a pretty cool skill to have in terms of like, I can be on Broadway, I can do shows, I can do movies. Doesn't matter who I'm paired up with. I'm Daniel fucking Radcliffe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it work. But yes, I agree. Weird pairing, but like I saw an interview with, or at least a piece of an interview with him on like Jimmy Fallon talking about like him and Tracy Morgan have just been like hanging out and stuff and like going to Knicks games and stuff. He's like, yeah, man, if you want to go to a Knicks game, like Tracy Morgan's the one to go with. He's like, he's had like courtside seats for like the past 30 years. And you just see like there was a picture of like Daniel Radcliffe like talking to like all these ginormous men, and like Tracy Morgan standing next to him. He just looks like so out of place. Yeah, but it's like what a fun buddy to have. It's just like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Harry Potter. Check it out, guys. That was my Tracy Morgan terrible.
Yeah, terrible. I saw a video with him and Bobby Moynihan just talking about like their past characters that they've done. Like they'd show a picture, and the other person would have to kind of guess what it is. And Bobby Moynihan makes some joke about like buying Legos and buying a Harry Potter Lego set, and like, yeah. Oh, and he says like, well, if you need some, I could get that for you. And like, I'm good. I'm fine. I make enough money. I can find my own Legos. And then it's like, what? Some of us make a little bit more money, and like, I just gotta know what his finances are, because that's crazy. Every time it gets played on TBS or something, he gets a cut of that. That's insane
He
money.
is the title character. Like he's got to be, like even when everyone else's money like would run dry, he's still got to be cashing checks,
Yeah,
man. So
his face is on every little piece of merchandise. Like that's unless he
mhm.
got a real bullshit contract, he's making good money.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like the first three movies he probably wasn't doing too well, but they're just like, hey man, you want to continue this? You want
Yeah.
to pay these kids?
Uh-huh.
If they had any good agents whatsoever, they did
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And I feel bad for these new kids that are going to be on the Harry Potter TV show, because it's going to be a streaming show. You're not getting fucking royalties for any of that shit. And everyone's going to say, you're
Flat
not
fees
as
from kicking
good.
off.
You're terrible. You're not the original. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but 15 years from now, like those kids will all be doing nudity in other movies and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Those kids did okay.
Why do they have to do nudity? Is that for the paycheck?
Because our Harry Potter kids didn't do nudity. Um,
Equus?
yeah, but like that doesn't count.
There's pictures. It counts.
Sure,
What's her
but that's why
face?
he's the biggest star because he did fucking nudity. You see an Emma Watson and Rupert Grint stuff anymore? Not really.
I mean,
I'm telling you,
that's
these kids, 15 years from now, there's gonna be popping boobs and hanging dong, and they're gonna be bigger than Emma Watson and Rupert Grint ever were. Just not Daniel Radcliffe.
okay.
He's the one who made it out on top.
Hey, well, we'll check back in 15 years.
Cut the part where I talk about kids growing up and
Kids.
getting nude, doing nudity. I'm talking about them as adults, clearly, but
Yeah. What do you got?
Look at all these apps open. I did not finish a game, but I'm going to talk about it just for a brief second. One of the games I bought in my boredom because I didn't really have anything that I was in the mood to play, so I got it for like $6, was Squirrel with a Gun. This is a story about a squirrel with a gun.
Figured.
Yeah. There really isn't much of a story to this game. It's just a dumb, silly game. But basically, like, the squirrel sees this, like, piece of technology in kind of like the shape of an acorn. So it goes down and eats it, and I guess, like, it gives him superpowers or whatever.
Okay.
um, and, like, intelligence. And then it's just you as a squirrel being able to, like, pick up a gun, shoot secret agents in the face, stun them, do sort of like finisher moves with these guns. Like you can pick up a 6 shooter and then you do like this whole like twisty like Wild West thing and shoot all 6 bullets. You can pick up machine guns, bazookas, just all sorts of weapons. Um, but like the goal of the game is to like do stupid like side quest activities to unlock more golden acorns, which then will let you like progress further in the story. And the story's not even like a story. It's like you have to like this government agency is trying to like kill this squirrel and get their tech back, I guess. And so you as a squirrel have to like take down this top secret government agency. But you're like going around this small town and you're like, there's like a stripper pole in this room, and if you do like a stripper pole dance thing, like you unlock an acorn. Or
Okay.
like there's a drunk husband who's passed out up on the roof. You push him off the roof so he can like go get married to his wife who's crying out in the backyard or whatever. It's just like there's all these dumb things, and it like doesn't tell you exactly where to go or what to do. So you just kind of figure stuff out and fuck around, and then you can like find different outfits, and most of them do nothing. But like there's a bomb squad outfit or whatever that you can throw on, and like you'll still like if you step on an explosive, you'll like bounce around, but you just won't die.
Okay.
And it's just like a super silly game that if you just played straight through, you'd probably beat in like 6 hours or less or whatever. I don't know. But like there's so much side stuff to do that you could take up a good amount of time. It's like kind of fun, but also like you only each gun only has one finisher move, so you can like shoot a guy in the face, and you can just do that over and over again. So that gets tired real quick.
Okay.
You have to go around and like collect acorns to buy the weapons. I mean, you can print them out like as many times as you want, um, but it's just like it's a game of nothing but fetch quests and then like 3 boss fights. And it got to the point where I got to this like water park area, and there was just like so much climbing and so many things you have to go over here to do to unlock this thing to like jump down to this other thing, and I was like, so if I want to like not waste my time, because there was some times I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because the game doesn't like have objectives that it says or tells you where to go. I'm like, as I'm going online, I'm like, what do I got to do to like unlock this thing? And it got to the point where I was like, no, what? I don't care about any of this because like I'm a story guy or a character guy. And the squirrel doesn't talk. The squirrel doesn't do anything other than like go "Wah!" and like get scared of like things, but then also like can take an Uzi and mow down a secret agent guy. If you want like a dumb, silly game that is like mindless, kind of fun, with a you know silly title, this is that game. But if you're looking for like anything of substance, it's not really anything there. Like Never Alone, the game I talked about last time, wasn't a good game, but it was just like the simplest game I've played in a decade, essentially. But at least it was like kind of interesting, where this was quote unquote fun and there was more mechanics to it, but also like, what's the fucking point of this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there's people who love this game because of how like silly and cartoony it is. It just didn't work for me. So that's Squirrel with a Gun. I might go back to it one day, but I got bigger and better stuff to play right now.
Yeah. So there was a horror movie that came to our theater. I was hearing lots of good stuff of like, this is a gore fest. This has some really great special effects. Check this out. It's called Dolly. Saw the trailer before. Some horror movie. It's got Sean William Scott in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Where's
okay.
he been?
Exactly. And it looked like really lo-fi. It gave me this feeling of it will be this year's In a Violent Nature. Kind of, that was the one with like you're following the Jason type character the whole time.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
it felt kind of like that, and it's like 2 people in the woods. They hear a sound, investigate. There's a crazy big lady with a doll mask on and starts killing them. Wants to, you know, be your mommy and treat you like a baby. Change your diaper, feed you, and then when you don't want to eat your rotten food, breastfeed you,
God, it was just played by Dolly Parton.
No, it's like, obviously it's a dude wearing a big moo with a mask on. Like, this movie fucking sucks so hard. It is so lame. And I know with horror movies, you gotta just kind of turn your brain off. But how many times can you knock down the bad guy and then just run away into the next room, stop and start looking around like you're doing investigation? Like, are you not trying to get out of here? Are you not trying to stop this person? Like, smash their head in, and it happened over and over and over again. Really lame. I will say it's really good special effects. There's a part Sean William Scott gets a shovel to the shin that just like boom breaks it. Yeah, and he's like dragging himself. Then he gets the shovel right in the mouth and just down, and you think it's going to take his head off, but it actually just takes his lower jaw, so it's just dangling, and he's dragging himself through the woods just like he eventually does die, but that looks really good.
My penis is inside. Jesus Christ.
Ethan Suplee is in it as well.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
it's but bad movie. It really felt like someone was doing a special effects reel, and they said, well, I can do this, and this. Well, we could probably string a shitty little movie in between all that stuff. Yeah. Ooh, and I have this idea for a new horror icon, a big fat lady in a porcelain doll mask with a crack over the eye. Like, wow, spooky. And it really wants to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But at least with Leatherface, he like squeals and grunts and makes sounds, whereas Dolly doesn't make any sounds. There's some heavy breathing, and then just a lot of like, for people who can't see me, imagine doing like an Adam Sandler impression, what you do with your fingers. That's what Dolly's doing the whole time. and even when it's getting attacked, there's no screeches or anything, so it's just a silent villain. And like, this is not a new icon. It's dog shit. Pass.
All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't see that with you or our mutual friend Nick. All right. I got one more game that I beat multiple times, technically.
It's hard not to beat this game.
Yeah. It's a game you've talked about on here. I don't know how much time you put into it, but I feel like I got what I needed out of it. I played the Stanley Parable, uh, and so for those who don't know, you are an office worker. It's in first person, and you have to just like get out of the office. But there's multiple different ways to do that, and every choice you make, there's like a narrator kind of describing like what's going on, saying, and then you walk through the left door, but you can choose to go right, and then the narrator go like, and then he chose the right door for some reason, and
completely ignoring my wishes.
Like, so the narrator like can make fun of you, and sometimes the narrator like rambles on, so you can like do everything he says and get to the ending like within like 5 minutes, and then you beat the game. And that's like the happy ending. You can do everything he doesn't say, and then like die in like 5 minutes, and then just like, and then the narrator just talks about like how mundane and worthless your life was and why you like ended up dying and whatever. And then the game just gets like weirder and weirder because you're going through this office, and like there's a secret passageway that leads down to like this like war room that like you can initiate, that has like a mind control sequence that you can like turn on, and if you do, like there's a countdown and you're pressing all these, but like it's just like the whole game is just constantly like fucking with you, and it's really like kind of fun and clever. Some of the stuff that they do, and you're trying to figure out like there's got to be something more to this game. At one point, I like, you basically just beat the game and or die over and over and over again. You end up back at the beginning. And there was just like a door that wasn't there before that said like new content. And because this was like the ultra deluxe edition, because the game originally came out in 2012, I believe, or 2013, and so it's like giving you the history of like how like they were just like showing you reviews of the game, like good reviews and bad reviews. There's a museum of like the different areas of the game where you were, like dioramas that you like walk through.
Places where like here's some ideas to make the game better.
Yeah.
Just a whole heaping chunk of weird stuff that is just kind of like there as bonus content,
Yeah.
I guess.
There's like a little like kind of Disney ride that you get on that's like talking about the game and stuff. And you get to, there's at one point where you get this room where you like press a button and then it jumps forward 10 minutes. It's like, jumps forward an hour, it jumps forward 8 days, and then it's just like, and you just keep pressing it over because the door disappears behind you and you can't get out. Next thing you know, a millennia or something has gone by. The building that you were in is like crumbled, and then you're walking out into the desert somewhere, and then the game just ends again. Or maybe you teleport somewhere else. I don't remember. The game's fucking wild, man, out there. And
did you get to the point, probably, where there's like an annoying loud baby, and like it's just making this annoying like honking or screaming sound like every time you push a button, otherwise you have to kill the baby? It's like just a thing on a track.
No,
it's so obnoxious.
I did not get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I played the game for a couple hours and like did quite a few endings, I was like, I don't know if I care to like just keep finding all the different stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you get the bucket? Oh man, there's a whole part like you get a bucket, and then now you can equip the bucket. It doesn't do anything. You're just carrying it in front of you, and it changes everything. So everything you've done, you do it all again, but now you have a bucket. And it like the narration will be totally different, and that was one of the things that made me go, I don't want to go through all that again. Now that I just have a bucket. Because by the time I got to it again, I was like, shit, do I do this run with the bucket or without the bucket? Fuck, I can't remember which one I did. And I'm like, that's enough for me.
Yeah. I haven't done any research into the game, like how many different endings are possible, whatever. One thing I did when I was going through the new content stuff, there was like an added feature to the game, and it was just a jump button.
Yeah.
And then you only get 30 jumps, and then once you use them, you don't jump anymore.
Yep.
I was like, this game is like the whole game is just one big troll.
Yeah.
But really, really clever.
And well written,
and
so fun.
The closest game I can describe it to, which is a game I didn't play, but like kind of in the same vein, I would think, is like that Exit 8 game, where like I showed you the trailer that they.
The subway
The
thing.
subway thing, yeah,
Yeah.
you're like walking in a straight line, and
Yeah.
if you see something weird, you turn around, and
Yeah.
I mean that's a horror game where there's nothing like technically horror
Mm-hmm.
about this game, other than like the constant mundaneness of the
Sure, there's some
workplace,
existential
existential stuff.
thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it's like it's not about like crazy gameplay. It's just
Yeah,
about
you
like
get a
how can we
click
like
button.
how can we fuck with you in this thing. The last thing I'll talk about, and it's kind of like my favorite thing that made me like roll my eyes and go like, "You son of a bitch," was at one point I was like, "Well, let me go through the trophies because there's got to be some like interesting stuff here, or maybe something I can do real quick." Because I'm not like a trophy hunter guy, but if I can like knock out a few quick
Sure.
trophies, I'll do that. And there was one trophy that says like, "Click the door handle on room 430 5 times." It's like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Thought nothing of it. Clicked on it 5 times, and the narrator goes, "You thought it'd be that easy? We're not. We're gonna make you work for this trophy. No, go click on it." And so I'm like doing this thing for a minute, and then I walked through the wrong door, and then the door closed behind me. I couldn't do it. So then I was like, "God damn it! I don't know how long that sequence would be.
Damn.
It might be a 2-hour thing. It might be a 30-minute thing. It might be you never actually get that trophy. It's just there to fuck with you." There's one trophy that says, "Don't play this game for 10 years," which like 8% of players got because those 8% of players bought the game 10 years ago.
And just been using the same system. It's been online the whole time.
So it's one of those games that's just fucking ridiculous. But fun, but is only worth like really 3 hours of your time, I would say, before it's kind of like, I don't need to go back to this because I've died / beaten the game enough.
Yeah, and there's a ton of stuff you still have not done.
Clearly.
All right. I saw one of the major releases, The Bride, a movie by Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring the Hamnet lady,
Jessie Buckley.
Jessie Buckley,
the Batman guy,
the Batman guy, yeah, Sarsgaard, Penelope Cruz. And it's the story of the Bride of Frankenstein, but it's told a little differently. This is the world where Frankenstein did make a monster. It's the 30s now, and he's just been kind of alone for 100 years. And he goes to Annette Bening and says, "Hey, I know you have the smarts to do this stuff. I need you to make me a bride." And with a little convincing, they find the corpse of Jessie Buckley, a woman who was kind of harassed by some men, some like mob enforcer guys. Like she just had to, shut up and be a pretty girl at the table, but maybe she didn't let them get handsy enough, and so she falls downstairs and dies. And now that she is back, she doesn't quite remember.
Falls downstairs and dies, or like they push her down the stairs and she dies?
No, they're intimidating her, and it's like she just takes a step back. I don't think he pushes her. And yeah, so now she's back and they're in love, and he's just like lying to her the whole time.
So she comes out of it, and it doesn't take long for them to be like, "I'm into this."
Who? What?
Like she dies, becomes the bride of Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
And immediately she's like, "Yeah, I'm down to like smash this dude," or like they're
like he proves like to be a good man to her. So
there wasn't a long courting sequence or anything. She was just like, "All right, I'm dead. You're dead. This is pretty much my only option. Let's do this."
And then they get to a point where like he has to step up and kill some guys, and he's like, "Oh, well, that sucks. Well, you better run this way. I'll run the opposite way, and this is just our life." And it's like, "Well, no, we'll just run away together." I'm like, "Okay." And then they go, they hit the road, and they kill people that they don't like. They kind of start a revolution, like a female revolution, and do a Bonnie and Clyde sort of thing without the bank robbery stuff. It's just very loosely that it's just more of their vigilantes on the run and their cops on their heels. This movie is tough to critique. Like, I'm not sure if this is going to be this misunderstood art house new classic, or this is a pretentious piece of shit that's like really up its own ass. Because Jessie Buckley isn't just playing the bride, she's also playing Mary Shelley, who has now like gone into her brain and is kind of taking control of her at times. So half the things Jessie Buckley is saying is like, schizophrenic, and it's Mary Shelley speaking through her, and it's a different accent, and it's very old-timey, and then she's reverting back, and like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about half the time. So it comes off really chaotic. And I
So
think
like, Josie Buckley realizes like she's aware that Mary Shelley is.
yeah, but it's not really like a plot point. She's not like the ghost of Mary Shelley's in my brain. It's just like a thing that is, and
And in
people
this
don't
universe,
address her.
Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein,
I
or
don't know because there is an actual Frankenstein there who was made by Dr. Frankenstein, but how can Mary Shelley, who wrote that story, also exist if there's a real life Frankenstein? Or maybe Mary Shelley doesn't exist and it's this like we're watching the story of Frankenstein and this is her just kind of giving a new take on the bride. I'm not 100%. It's very weird. That's why it's like a little maybe pretentious, artsy fartsy up its ass. But I kind of had a really good time with it. It is a little long, but I wasn't checking my phone too much. I dug it, especially like the makeup effects are really good. I don't like that splotch on her face. That's like I don't think they needed to do that. But it's just like it's not going to be for everyone. It's like a love it or hate it sort of thing, and I'm gonna lean on the side of love it. Yeah, but
you can just mildly like a thing. You don't have to love it.
no, but it's like I mildly like this thing, but I'm more on the side of like this is a good thing compared to this is a bad thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I'm glad you liked it because I imagine there's a bunch of people who didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
Look at you liking things. Other than Dolly. All right. I have one last thing, and you have one last thing. Great. So our local theater for the month of March is every single day is a different like Oscar-winning film. And there was one I have never seen before. It's one of my wife's favorites. We've been talking about for years because she owns it on DVD. It's just we just never got around to watching it. But when I saw it was on the big screen, I was like, "Oh, I'm off that day," or at least I go in late. I saw Life is Beautiful.
The Holocaust movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know. Usually, I'm pretty up on my like Oscar stuff.
Roberto Benigni.
Roberto Benigni. Yeah. I written and directed and starring him, or I think he wrote it. But it is a cinema classic, and I have just never seen it, and I didn't know much about it. So the first half of this movie is Robert Benigni, if that's how you say it. Apologies. Is basically like the Italian Mr. Bean. He's just like not as like cartoonish,
yeah,
but he's still like cartoony.
He's a clown.
He's a clown man, and he's just like the happiest guy in the world. He meets this beautiful woman, but she's engaged to this other man, and he just kind of is just he moves to this town with his buddy because to meet up with his uncle. It's like right before World War II, so there's like hints of racism or not. What's
Anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism. Thank you. But it's never really like brought to the forefront. It's just in the background. Of just like once they arrive to Robert's uncle's house, there's like kids like running out, like oh they stole some stuff, and you just kind of think like oh maybe they're just like some punk kids.
Mm-hmm.
But really they're like messing with him because his uncle is Jewish, and so the first half of this movie, like he gets a job as like a as a waiter at this like fancy hotel or whatever, and he makes friends with this dude who likes riddles, and he gets in trouble with this local guy because he's trying to he wants to open up his own bookstore, and he accidentally like pushes a vase on this guy's head. Like this is where it gets like Mr. Beanie stuff, and like he got eggs earlier in the day, and he put it in his hat that he set on the car next to the guy that he hit, and the guy just like rah, 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 and then puts on that guy's hat, and then eggs go on his head. It's just like that kind of like cartoony stuff.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And he keeps doing.
Did you see this with your wife?
No, I saw it by myself.
Okay.
She was at work.
Okay.
And so there's like parts where like so much of this like movie has to be like you're expending. This is my only real issue with the movie. You're just suspending disbelief on quite a few things because like a lot of it is just like miracle timing of these things work out. But anyway, the big thing of the first half of this movie is he falls in love with this woman who is engaged who you find out is engaged to the guy who hates him because he like put eggs on his head or whatever by accident. Um, and so he basically makes her fall in love. There's a really great shot where um, he kind of kidnaps her from the theater because it's raining and her fiance goes to like get the car, and so he pulls up a very similar looking car and she gets into it, and it's like, oh princess, I'm here to take you away, and she's like, oh my goodness, and like crashes the car, but he like rolls down this like red carpet because his buddy like makes furniture and it has like this long red fabric and it just rolls down and it just like becomes like this red carpet. It's like a beautiful shot. There's some really good stuff in this. um, but anyway, they fall in love. They have a kid. World War II. Um, the father and son get taken to the train station to go to an Italian internment camp. Um, and the mom's just like, I'm not going to be without these two. Like, and then she voluntarily like gets on the train with them. I don't think she's Jewish, but obviously him and his son are. Um, so they go to this camp together, and then the next half of this movie is the father trying to convince the son that they are at they're all playing this game where you have to like earn points every day, and the winner gets a tank at the end. And uh, like that's another thing, and you kind of have to like suspend disbelief a little bit, where like everybody else is like miserable and working, and but they all have to kind of be on the same page of just like, we're all gonna make this kid believe that we're all just playing this game, and if we get to 1,000 points, like you win and you get out of here. Like the kid has no idea like what this place actually is, and like why he can't see his mom who's been separated with the women, and he's the only kid left because they rounded up all the kids and old people and killed them in the gas chamber.
Mm.
So now this kid has to hide like for 8+ hours a day in the bunks while like all the adults are like uh, working and stuff and slowly getting murdered. And uh, there's parts in this movie where he's like convincing his son that like, oh, we're doing this ridiculous thing because it would get us more points, and like, oh, these people told you that like they're killing people here. No, no, no. He's just saying that to sort of mess with your mind, so you want to quit playing the game, and it's all just about like preserving this child's innocence.
Hmm.
And you're just kind of, but there'll be like out in the middle of like you can blatantly see it's not a big place, and he's like talking to his son in like broad daylight while guards like doing stuff. It's like, why aren't you like hiding? It's just like I get from like a camera's perspective, it's so like you can see that this thing's going on, and that's who they're talking
Hmm.
about, and this is why they're doing this thing. But it's like, fucking hide that kid while you talk to him or
Yeah.
something. And or it's just like it's just like little ridiculous things like that where it just I don't believe this is like happening.
Hmm.
I like the message of the movie, and I think like if this was made now, you could have done it in a way that like hit harder because you never really see any of like the horrors of like what's going on. Like those people go to the gas chamber, and the only really thing you don't see them like die. You don't hear any screams. You don't ever see anyone like really get murdered in this movie. Um, but like you see like the pile of clothes afterwards.
Yeah.
There's only one shot in the movie that's like horror, where like he has his son and it's dark outside. There's a fog, so they're able to sort of like walk through the place without like being seen. And he kind of like stumbles onto like this giant pile of bodies of like
Mm.
all the people that they killed, and it's like very like I can't imagine seeing that kind of thing in real
Yeah.
life. Like that'd be such a horrific sight that he has to see. That's the only like really dark portion of the movie. Because any other thing is like always like done off screen or like just kind of like offhand mentioned.
Implied.
Yeah, yeah. I think today you would have made that movie a little bit like I thought this movie would make me cry because it's about a father like trying to like save his son through this the most horrible thing, one of the most horrible things to happen to humanity, and it just like never quite got there. Like there was pieces that like, oh man, if you guys just like rework this thing a little bit more, like some of these moments could have hit harder. Don't make him so cartoony, but like the point was he never let the awful things like bring down himself, so he could be the good dad to his son.
Hmm.
And like it's weird to see like a whimsical Holocaust movie
Yeah.
because like it really is like whimsical even through like the dark stuff. Like the only other like whimsical Holocaust movie I can think of is like Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Like there's been comedy movies about the Holocaust, but I wouldn't say they're whimsical. Like
Yeah.
this is real stuff, but just with like more optimistic look at it versus just like everyone's dying and everyone, this isn't The Pianist,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I really liked it. I wish I liked it more. I wish it hit me harder. But it is a very good, like, lovely movie that I would recommend. I thought this was from like the 70s or 80s. It was 1997 when this came
Yeah.
out. It's just like, oh, The Matrix was 2 years after this. Like, it just looks so old, and maybe
hmm
I just haven't watched a movie from 1997 in a while. But it tripped me up. I was like, oh, I thought this was way older.
Yeah.
And I also kind of like that he wasn't a conventional leading man.
hmm
Like, if this was made in America, it'd be like some like just good looking dude,
Yeah.
or like a good looking dude that they kind of just like messed up a little bit to
Now,
like
if
make him
they
look
made
like
this now, it'd be Adrian Brody because that's all he's allowed to do.
yeah. But I like that he was just like a normal looking human being.
hmm
It kind of, for me, made me feel like more like invested versus just like, oh, here's Ryan Gosling doing a Holocaust movie. Not that
Yeah.
you can't be like a good looking person in the Holocaust. I get it. It's
Yeah.
just, it was nice to see a man in his 30s or 40s just look like a man who's in his like 30s or 40s. Like his hairline's like at the top of his head.
Yeah.
Kind of looked more like a Mo from the Three Stooges
Yeah.
and just like a total goofball. But I really enjoyed his performance. And I I felt good watching this movie, and then when it got to the back half, where it was like, I felt bad. It's still like all the father son stuff is still good. It's just a little bit of just like no, you're losing me in this plot because you're doing things like that doesn't make sense to me. Uh, in a like the choices that you're making, not that the choosing to like tell your son it's all like a game. I get, but everything else like just hide and tell him this stuff, or like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on because I can tell you're bored as shit.
No, no, no. I'm just listening.
There's a part where, like, at this point in the movie, all the kids are dead except for him. And he's hiding him in a wheelbarrow after like they've done some work, and they go past this like radio room where they're like making the announcements to whatever, and they see the officer who's like running the radio station like walk away, and he's like, oh, come on, and they hop over there and they get on the radio and say like, oh, hello, princess, and like they're basically saying to his wife and to his mother like, we're alive and life is beautiful and yada yada yada. And I was like, okay, like if the goal was to like give the wife hope because you don't know if she's alive or whatever's going on. Like, I get that. But you're also going, hey, there's a child in the camp. He's still alive. He's still
Uh-huh.
here. At that point, and at no point in this movie do you ever see, like, the soldiers do, like, a search or, like, a check for contraband or anything. So you're
hmm
just, like, and maybe they didn't do that back then, but if I was the soldiers, like, oh, there's still a kid alive here.
Yeah.
Let's go check under some bunks and stuff and
Yeah.
see if they're hiding somebody. But they never do. It just seems like you're putting yourself at like unnecessary risk for like no real purpose other than just go like, oh, isn't this fun, son? Like we're
Yeah.
gonna mess with all the other contestants, eh? But really, it's just like you're just putting yourself in danger.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's not like we ever get much resolution with the mom. Like we see cutaways to her every now and then, and like at the end, he's like trying to find out if she's alive or not, and all that stuff. So I would recommend it. It's a good movie. It holds up. It's just parts where I'm just like, I don't think these choices would have translated. If they made this movie now, it wouldn't be anywhere near the
Hmm.
same.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie except the very end. This happened often in my first apartment. My buddy worked at Hollywood Video, so I'd come home from work and I'd come in and be like, "Oh, what are you guys watching?" And it's like the last few minutes of a movie. It was like The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc, the Mila Jovovich
Oh yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and it was like she's getting burned at the stake. And my friend's like, "Oh, well now the movie got spoiled for you." I'm like, I know how Joan of Arc ends, okay?
Yeah.
But this was one of them that they rented and is like come in and like, oh, what's this? Life is beautiful, and then like he gets shot, like, and then the Americans show up 10 seconds later, right? Am I remember
Well,
that
it's
correct?
so they basically you never find out how long they're there. I think when I looked at the IMDb trivia, there was only one Italian internment camp, and so this must be based off of that one, and that one only operated for a few months. But they're rounding up as many of the as the Jewish people as possible to kill them and like burn evidence because like they're like the dad figures like, oh, the war is over, they're like getting rid of as many of us as possible. Like, and he has to like try and hide his son. So he hides his son, but he's like, I'm gonna go look for mom, and then he runs off to try and like find her and make because he's just trying to keep the family together because they only have to survive like one more day.
Yeah.
And so he hides him. He's able to find his wife. They capture him, and he kind of like winks at his son, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go off and play this game." And then they shoot him, but you never see him get gunned down. But he dies saving his child. And then the next day, like the camp is emptied, and then a tank comes in, and the kid's like, "I did it! I won the fucking tank!" And I'm like, and that's kind of cute.
Okay.
And the Americans show up, and then there are some of the Jewish people who were able to like. There was I don't know like 80 of them or whatever they were able to hide. If he just like hung out for like 10 minutes, he would have been fine.
Yeah.
And the kid's mom did survive.
Okay.
So he was reunited with his mom. He just lost his dad. But yeah, it's just like if he survived one more day. And I'm going to talk about one more thing.
Okay, do it.
So I brought up the guy who at the restaurant he like did riddles with.
Yeah.
Turns out he was like a doctor at that camp, and was like a higher up, and so he like recognized him, and so got him to like be a waiter for the German forces who were there that night for whatever, and so they could talk. And I thought, oh, this is going to be the guy who like helps him get out, or like gives him a piece of evidence that will like solve his problem. Nothing ever comes of that. It's just like he wanted to talk to that guy about fucking. He wanted to talk to Robert Benigni's character about riddles. It's like someone gave me this riddle, I can't figure it out, and it's like I need your help. You need to help me figure this out. But at no point is just like you help me figure this out. I'll get you out of here. It's just like nothing ever happened with that. I was like, what's the fucking point of that? Or like to say like, oh, I'll help you, and then betray him. Like that would have been the thing that got him gunned down. But that's not what happened. It was just like this 10-minute sequence of the movie that like. What did that accomplish? Maybe I missed something, or he said he was going to help, but it was too late at this point, so it never went back to it. Or if it was just simply there to show, like, oh, look, these two people who have different ideals on, like, what humans are. He sees something in this guy, and they see something in each other, like, we're all equal in some way, but like I said, it's just kind of, like, thrown away. It's like, well, then why was this in here? So that was another thing that kind of bugged me, because he was always just like, look for my signal and we'll talk. But it was just like he spilled his drink, but then he's like talking next to like everybody else at this party. Like, it's not like they like went to a separate room. They're like having the full blown conversation in front of all the guests, like multiple times. That they're like the signal of just like, or he would like he knocked over his spoon and then he went over to go pick it up and he leaned over. But meanwhile, he's at the table with people who are like a foot across him and he sees him talking. It's like what is this?
Yeah, I'm
trying to hide it.
Yeah, like if it was a passing a note sort of thing. Like, oh, I spilled my drink. You come and get me a new one, and either there'll be a note there for you to take. But
these are nitpicks, but it just took me out of the movie every single time.
Yeah, this sounds really annoying.
Go to another room.
I don't think I'm gonna watch this because, like, I remember watching the Oscars when he won for Best Actor, and he is like.
Every time I brought up this movie to someone who's seen it, they're like, "But did you see the Oscar stuff?"
Yeah,
like, it's the Oscar stuff is more famous than this movie.
Yeah, and it's like he's climbing on chairs and it just pissed me off. It was like, get the fuck on the stage and accept your award. And like, yeah, I get it. You're happy. But it was almost like he was a clown. And it's like, okay, there's a time and place for clowning. This is an award ceremony. And he's bringing out his pies and making balloon animals and seltzer water. It's like, bro, this is not clowning time. This is award time. And it just kept going, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, I don't like this guy.
I disagree. I mean, that whole thing was like 3 minutes long, but it's in the same category as like the Cuba Gooding Jr. win, where you're just getting more hyped up and the music's swelling and everyone's standing up. Like, I think it fit with him being that character in that movie and like getting up on stage and winning and saying like life is beautiful. Like, it was all a 360.
I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I didn't like it.
We don't like joy.
I don't.
In a room that we always say is like, people always say it's just like so stuffy, full of like rich snobs who are just patting themselves on the back for this thing that like doesn't ultimately matter, and they talk about global warming or whatever. And
no one talks about global warming. That is so low on the ladder of important things.
DiCaprio still talks about it.
It's true.
Or talks about whatever thing, and it's like, oh my god, just accept the award and get out of here. And then the one guy who gets up there and just like, this is amazing. I'm so happy I won. That wasn't my Italian accent. That was just me doing a silly voice. And they're just like, man, this guy is a piece of shit for being happy.
It took forever. It's fine to be happy and everything, but get up there and be done with it. Anyhow.
God, I wish someone would just put this guy in a camp or something. Like that.
Nope, staying in. It's all staying in, Steve.
No. What was I going to say? Yeah, but that's it. Life is beautiful. I'm going to give it a B plus. I enjoyed my time. I liked it. Glad I saw it. I see its appeal. But just the some of the things rub me the wrong way. So just kind of falls short.
Hey, maybe you're really dumb and there's like deeper meanings there, and like, wow, you just didn't catch it.
Maybe.
So last thing before our main topic, I'll go quick. I don't have a lot to say. I saw Hoppers, Pixar's latest animated movie, Avatar with beavers. It's Avatar and
Avatar James Cameron, not Avatar M. Night.
Yeah, no, that's The Last Airbender. So very different. It's Wild Robot with Avatar, putting people's brains into little robot beaver bodies to communicate with the animal life, to come back to the glade. This woman is trying to protect this spot that her grandma showed her. They're trying to build a big old bypass through it, and if she could get the animals to come back, they won't be able to build there. And there's a mayor who's the bad guy trying to get things done, and silly animal antics. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's silly. It's really goofy for a Pixar movie. They're willing to kind of just be goofy about a lot of stuff. I think especially the design of the main beaver is adorable. I love this character. Mabel is just so cute. And here's another Bobby Moynihan role. He's the King Beaver. It's different for Pixar. Like I wish more people saw Elio. That's a good one. I don't think a lot of people will. This won't make a ton of money, but I will say my theater was crowded, and I saw 3 movies in one day, and every time I went back, it was just families with their little kids. So I could only assume they were seeing Hoppers, but I don't think this is going to be like a $1 billion franchise or anything. But I really enjoyed it. Really nice animation and legitimately funny.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say about that.
What grade you give it?
Oh, I gave it a B.
Cool.
I think I gave The Bride a B minus, and I gave Dolly a D. Yes.
Cool.
Okay, let's get to our main topic. War Machine, directed by someone Netflix hired.
Written by another
guy, some schmuck that they roped in from doing episodes of Law and Order, and this is his passion project. I don't know. It's just another one of those like terrible Netflix movies, like Atlas with Jennifer Lopez. Just dumb CGI bullshit. It's better than most of those.
What was Atlas about?
Like an AI mech and
Jennifer Lopez is a mech movie?
Yeah, and Simu Liu is the bad guy.
Okay.
It's not good. Most of the movie is Jennifer Lopez in the mech going, getting like tossed around. It was really bad. It's very, very, very bad. But this one isn't as egregious. This is Sam Richardson. He's in the military with his brother. His brother gets killed, and their dream were to become Rangers, so now he's gots to do it. And he's going through Ranger training. He's proven himself to be the ultimate badass, and when he's leading a squad to do their final mission, there's like alien robots attacking. So they get wrapped up in these alien robots, and they all start getting blowed up, and they got to make it back to base. And then he carries his sergeant or one of his co-workers, not co-workers, one of his fellow soldiers back with him, and then there's a lead up to potentially a sequel. It's not a very difficult movie. It's a lot of people are calling it Predator, like a Netflix version of Predator, and I guess I could see that. Military people in the wilderness, and there's a something that's killing you. Sure, but that's about it. Steve, what'd you think about this movie?
It's kind of exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think if I expected it to be more, I would have been very disappointed and would have gone, this movie's not very good. But because I didn't have high hopes for it, I went into it kind of just like, I'm just going to sit back and try and have a good time.
Yeah.
And I would say for the most part, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan Richardson is, playing a character.
I called him Sam Richardson. Oops. I'm thinking of Sam Richardson from Detroiters and stuff
You're
like that.
fucking us all up.
Alan Richardson, yeah.
Aquaman from Smallville.
Yep, the role everybody knows him from, yep. Blue Mountain Harvest, what was it called?
Blue Mountain State.
Blue Mountain State, yeah.
Still like a muscular dude, but still looked human.
That movie.
Also from American Idol, where he was a contestant on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That one movie with Josh Gad and
The Wedding
Ringer.
Yeah.
The movie that should have been a Vince Vaughn movie.
Raphael in the Charles movie.
Yeah.
Talked a lot of shit there.
Not Reacher.
Not Reacher.
That's not.
No one knows it on that show.
Oh, the I was going to call it the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
There you go.
Where he shoots a bow and arrow and wears tiny little glasses.
Anyway.
That guy,
yeah. He's the only, I was going to say he's the only recognizable face in this. He has
Quaid.
Dennis Quaid's in this. He is the, commander of...
Yeah, I don't know ranks of military.
Not general. Maybe. I forget. I'm sure he said... they say the ranks. I don't care. And then the bad guy from the newest Mission Impossible movie.
Yep. As a good guy.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what I thought about this.
Yeah.
For the most part, I would like it. If you're going into this looking for an acting showcase, it's pretty by the numbers. There's nothing really here. You have a cast of characters. Most of them die in the first wave of the attack from the...
Can't even tell them apart because they're all like shaved head, dirty white people.
Yeah. Then the remaining 6 of them or whatever, none of them really stand out or add any sort of emotional depth to the movie, other than I guess his number 2 in this movie, who spends 50% of this movie in essentially a body bag, just getting carried around. And not...
God, that guy got a lucky role.
That's the best case scenario. Jealous.
For an acting.
Yeah.
Real world situation, you don't want to be that guy. But when you're going to show up and you're going to pretend you're hurt and then you're going to pass out. And then we're just going to drag you around.
They're tossing you around and everyone's jumping off of stuff. They just have a dummy tied up in there. But yes, it's there's nothing in this movie that I would say that stands out or that's really worth it, other than I think the mech does look good.
Looks good.
The effects are solid. Its design is simple to where if it was too busy, you'd probably go the effects in this aren't that great, but because it's such a sleek design, it's very Ghost in the Shell / kind of, for whatever reason, reminded me of the robot from Interstellar, and just how simple that thing. Obviously, it's more involved than that. That was just a rectangle with smaller rectangles, where this one had legs.
Yeah, I said it was a lot like Ed 209 from RoboCop.
Yeah. The RoboCop reference. But the other problem I have with the robot is that it never feels like its weapons are that dangerous. Obviously, the thing that makes it dangerous is they're shooting at this thing and blowing up a C4. It's not making a dent. This thing is can't be hurt. But it kind of just has big bullets and then grenade launchers.
Yeah.
But the grenades never really seem to explode all that well. Yeah. So I never really felt even though I was chasing them down, it never really felt that dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just dangerous because they couldn't stop it.
Yeah. People did die, so there is danger there, but it was just kind of
Yeah, I wish that it had some alien tech that you were I don't even know how to combat this thing, or I'll duck behind. You'll see at one point where they duck behind this big heavy armored tank. It's it won't be able to get us back here, and then shoots one of those alien lasers and melts right through and kills that guy. It's okay, so we can't hide behind.
Or there's something with the scanning, because it scans them, and what if it you got hit with that and it instantly cubed you? turns you into paste almost.
Mm.
You know, something that you just think, oh, it's just scanning us, we're fine. Then you go to take a step and you just fall into pieces.
Yeah, it's like the Resident Evil is.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at one point, like, it does this cool thing where, like, it opens up its jaws, essentially. It has, like,
Yeah.
a mega, like, a Kamehameha wave for all you DBZ heads out there. I know you're there. But and you're like, oh, that thing's going to be cool. But it's used twice and doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
That should have been the thing that, like, brought down an entire base in one blast, like Godzilla style or something.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about how, like, oh, it came from space and that thing took out a mountain. Like, I think we should have saw a hole in a mountain and they went, oh, fuck, this thing can just disintegrate us in a second if we get in.
Yeah.
If we cross that beam.
And then, well, you and I did, like, we played enough video games, like, well, that's how they defeat it. They're just going to, like, shoot a missile launcher into that thing, and it's going to blow up from the inside.
Yep.
And, it's diving into the dragon's mouth and cutting out from the inside, like that kind of thing. But to their credit, they did not do that.
They did something a little different.
Yeah, they fought it with American muscle, baby, with a giant bulldozer.
Yep.
Which was, like, a kind of fun sequence.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Defeated it by, like, clogging up its pores, and then it overheated.
It was the potato in the exhaust pipe sort of method.
Yeah, which I guess alien races wouldn't have thought about.
Who knows? We don't know anything about
them. We don't see the aliens.
Yeah.
Now, I did not expect the twist of just like, oh no, like hundreds of these things landed and we just like defeated them. But now we're preparing for the second wave, which is just like set up for the sequel.
But I can see us getting another, like, who...
I wouldn't mind a second War Machine, by the way.
Yeah, like, we got another Extraction. Didn't expect to do that. And, of course, that's a little higher caliber of filmmaking. But, if Netflix wanted to have their own little series of alien invasion...
I've seen Extraction...
cross them over?
That'd be cool.
Okay, the Netflix universe.
Yeah, because I don't know what part of the military or Chris Hemsworth was part of, or if he was just like... secret op.
I think he was like
or was he just
for
like
hire,
a mercenary kind
of guy. He was probably in the military and he has his team, but I think he's for hire.
Yeah.
Because someone
hired. This thing is just like getting people out of dangerous places.
Yeah.
Because that could be kind of a cool thing where like Alan Richardson's team is like they're taking down a mech and they're pinned down by like 5 of them, but they need him because when they brought one down, he found a piece of like a key that is like the thing that will help them in the future. So we got to get him out of here, but it's too dangerous. There's too many of them. Oh, let's call in Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
and that's how you pair those two up, and then it's those two just kicking ass. That'd be kind of fun.
What was his name in that? Like Jake Rake, something like that. Something Rake. I think his last name was Rake.
Yeah, and then
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
we got to scrub through Netflix's catalog and see who else we could throw in this. The movie could not have gone to theaters. It has to be a direct-to-streaming Netflix movie. Who gets added to...
And I mean, if you want to pair up the Russians with the aliens, so they have like a thing that like brings back villains from the Extraction universe.
Sure, why not?
Who cares? You're not going to this movie for like logic.
So one thing I expected to see in this movie, like I thought we would see the alien, even if it was like they open up the cockpit and it's just a bunch of goo, and we're not supposed to know, like, oh, did they explode in there, or are they actually goo monsters? But I thought he would get a mech of his own. Like he would be able to rip one open and get in there, and you see the good guys go like, oh my god, there's another one coming, and it's Alan Richardson, and he's, using all the things, and I just figured that would be like an obvious thing to do.
Well, when we were watching, I pitched something to you where I said, well, what if this isn't an alien movie and that asteroid thing was just a misdirect? And this actually was like a new piece of like R&D tech.
Yeah.
And then the twist, because we never found out if his brother died for a good portion of the movie. It's like, his brother's going to be like piloting this mech.
Yeah.
Or, and he's just been like sort of... not brainwashed, but sort of just like infused with it.
Sure.
Or whatever.
He's like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. That or his brother's going to come in and save him at the end.
Yeah, with his robot leg.
Like he lost his legs in the battle at the beginning of the movie, but he still was able to like pilot a helicopter.
Yeah.
And that's, the brother he couldn't get across the finish line gets him across the finish line.
Yeah, something.
both those choices would have been bad. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
The one they went with makes more sense, where he failed to get his brother to the base by like 100 yards, but was able to carry this other guy.
I don't think it was that he was 100 yards out. I think he was only 100 yards away from the site, where like he didn't get very far, and the story got changed to, man, he walked 8 miles all the way to home base, and he dropped, right before he could get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when he was confessing to him, he was just like, I only carried him for like 100 feet before I passed out, and he was still alive, but since I was passed out, I couldn't do anything, and he died, and then they were just rescued because there was an attack there, so reinforcements came.
I'll have to look.
We don't care. Who cares?
There's a shot where I think it's established like he did carry him to the base and just fell short.
Okay, I swore I was seeing like it was the exploded area, and he was anyhow. Don't matter.
Don't matter. So yeah, I wish there was more to really talk about.
Yeah, I was like, you could talk about all the individual deaths of like, oh, this guy got shot in the arm and this guy got shot in the head, and I wish the violence was a little bigger and like.
Because, like, it's not like it wasn't bloody. Like, it was pretty violent. It just wasn't like...
I want Saving Private Ryan, like, holding your guts in.
Sure,
getting stepped on by the thing, and half your body is left. Like, your legs are flattened, but your upper torso is okay. But as soon as that foot lifts, all your guts come rushing out, and you die. I want extreme
There's
stuff.
a part where Alan Richardson's character comes back to, like, go get a radio, and he's looking at the mech, and it's, like, walking towards a guy who was, like, still alive. And I thought, like, oh, this is the part where you see it, like, step on him. Yeah. But then it just shoots him with a gun. And it's like, no.
That's dumb.
It should have crushed him.
Yeah. It should have been very much like All Quiet on the Western Front. That... Yeah. Just being crushed.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah.
A total bummer to watch, but that movie's awesome.
And I really thought we would see that mech fly, transform in some way, like, oh, it can't get us up this mountain, and then suddenly it has arms that it can climb.
I was waiting for it to do something.
So many things.
And like, there's a part where it like jumps, like it has some rocket packs.
Yeah.
But it's just like to like brace its fall to land. And like, I guess it can kind of like rush forward because it kind of like braces its, in that final battle, it pushes itself up against and like is using the rocks to like push himself forward. I was like, oh, this thing is like doing smart stuff. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never see like an alien inside of it, I guess we can only assume that this is just an AI bot that is like solely on like a hunt protocol.
Maybe.
And
if it did fly, it would be less interesting of a story because it would just fly right at them and
they never be able to get away.
Yeah. But if they did something where like you see it like extend its wings, but they like have broken because they set off those bombs, and it can't fly, and so it chooses to like discard them and just goes on a walking, something.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, I'm sure this is all stuff that they've talked about, and we're saving for the sequel.
Yeah.
Because the next one, the mechs will be bigger, and they can fly, and they'll do other stuff.
Or they'll connect to other ones.
They can fly, but they're not as strong because they'd be too heavy.
Yeah.
So that gives them at least the ability to like, oh, we can shoot some.
You got to have your different enemy types in your video games.
Of course. And I'm so dumb. I didn't realize they never said his name throughout the entire movie. Because all the other like characters because they're all like training, so they all just get numbers.
Yeah.
And like all the other characters in the movie have names and stuff. But at the end when they're just like, anyone know this guy's name? And it just like says War Machine. I'm like, oh, like that's a cool way to get a name.
Sure, yeah.
But I mean, maybe they did say his name at the beginning. I just forgot. But as far as I'm aware, they only call him
81. Yeah.
And they never call him War Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, like this movie. It's like the best thing about this movie is that it could lead to a sequel.
Yeah, you can maybe do better next time.
That's the biggest compliment I can give to this movie. It's just like it doesn't change the game. It's not good, but it's not unwatchable. But it does kind of give me hype for a second one that probably won't be good either, but could do some fun stuff. We've had so many like military versus alien movies, and honestly. I think the worst part of this movie is like the last 2 minutes where it's just like the biggest ad for the military. I've seen the movie for a while. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not one of these people who's just like, oh, all these movies are just like pro-military propaganda. I get it. They gotta get the butts and the helicopters somehow. But it just kind of like, it just felt like weirdly, totally like, all of a sudden it was just like, hoorah, military. Well, it's like, that's not really what this movie was about. This movie was about like, this guy getting his redemption arc and like saving people that he like saving his brother that he couldn't save before, and like taking down this crazy thing that he didn't anticipate and stuff because he could like he was the baddest guy in the training and was like he is a machine, he's undefeatable, and now he's up against a thing that he can't defeat. So there's like some good stuff there that just like
but and you would also think that there's a part of him of needing to. They talk about like you're not a good team leader. You're not trying to make friends with anybody. You got to learn these things, and he doesn't really learn that. Like everything they do is just kind of out of necessity, and a lot of the guys don't do anything unless their former leader tells them to, or Alan Richardson just starts doing it. And then they all just like, well, fuck, I guess he's already doing it. It just doesn't seem like he really learns anything.
Yeah.
And they're just there to die.
Like he has his I failed monologue or whatever, and reveals himself, and then like why he's so the way he is, and then he like makes a joke, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy's all right. He is, he is human. But then that immediately like goes away because the rest of the team is killed within the next 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's just him and then the other guy, and it's not like they try and have like these small moments of bonding, and they kind of get there a little bit. But if he's the guy you get over the line and he represents the brother that you failed, I really wish their bond was stronger.
Yeah.
I think their thing came too late. I wish that they had a little something in like training. It's like, hey man, like you don't want to be a leader. That's fine. I'm happy to be a leader. Like you can lean on me, and there's like some mutual sort of thing. Like maybe Alan Richardson cracked a joke with him during basic training camp, but it's like, nope. For an hour and 15 minutes, I'm a complete asshole. In the last 30, it's like I'm not that bad, right? But like, it's none of it really seems earned.
Maybe we should have not had as much training and could have gotten to the mission.
I can't believe how long the training sequence.
Oh my god, that's a long sequence.
I mean, I get it to like sort of establish like these are the best of the best. Here's all the crazy stuff they have to go through.
Yeah.
So I get it. I don't mind a training montage, but like for a movie that's like
an
hour and 45 minutes long, like 25, 30 minutes of this movie, or at least it felt like it, was just a training montage. Which just seemed like too much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this movie C+.
Yeah, I think C+ is perfect for it.
Yeah,
it's a great dad movie.
Yep.
For him to stand behind the couch and watch you watch it for a half hour. It gets a plus because I do think it didn't skimp on the violence. Could have been PG-13ified.
Yeah, it got a C+ for me because I thought that the mech was pretty cool for the most part, despite my small qualms with it. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
And also plus because it made me want a sequel. And if they ever decided to turn this into a video game, yeah, I could see it.
Sure.
I would want a little bit more, but I wouldn't mind
this. As a video game, is an arcade shooter where you're on rails and you're like the whole Jeep thing at the end. One of us is driving, the other one is shooting. I don't see
one
it
of those
being
ones where you like step on the pedal and like duck behind the shield. Yeah.
It's something simple like that.
Yeah, this is a like late 80s, early 90s movie that was made 30 years later.
Yeah, it really is. It boggles my mind that things like this still get made where like, what's the pitch? Military guys fighting an alien robot. Okay, and well, they got to get back to base. Oh, okay, yeah, and what else? What's the hook?
Like, I don't know. Like what do they learn? Not much.
Nothing. Lots of different aliens. No, it's just one big robot suit, pretty much.
But there's gonna be like a bunch of explosions and stuff. And like,
I
like explosions.
Yeah, and like, is it one of those like, well, it's just shot out in the woods and it's easier than building sets or...
Well, that's my thing. It's like, this seems like the kind of movie, it's like, you pitch it as like, well, it's going to be cheap to make because we're really going to be in the woods most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's easy. That's cheap to film. But then it's like,
the transportation to get there...
The CGI for this thing is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, my guess is this is a $50 million movie.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's not even going to theaters. Which, like, before the streaming era, I could see this movie making a decent amount of money.
Sure.
And obviously, there's something to to warrant making it. So I'm not saying it's going to like lose money, but it's kind of a shame like you don't get to see that metric of like what this would have made
Yeah.
if it went to theaters.
And who knows? Maybe when they pitched this and they greenlit it, it's a totally different story.
I'm gonna look up the budget.
We have lots of different aliens. We have lots of different weapons, and it could have been a much crazier, bigger movie. And then they go, well, we got to strip this back. Okay, we could cut this, cut this, cut this. Okay, well now we're not going to shoot it in a city. It's too expensive. We're going to shoot it, in the woods. Okay, cut that, cut that, cut that. And then, so maybe this movie is a totally different thing than what was originally pitched. So who knows? Movie making's weird.
I forgot Brad Pitt did a movie in 2017 called War Machine.
Oh.
Its box office as of right now is $29,156.
Well, because it probably was shown in two theaters, yeah. So it could get that Oscar contention.
I'm not seeing anything on the budget.
Yeah, Netflix is very cagey about that sort of stuff.
But when I typed in War Machine budget 2026, the Google AI overview said for fiscal year 2026, a proposed U.S. defense budget of approximately $1 trillion has been highlighted.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The amount of money we're spending right now in Iran is insane. It's like, what did I see? It was like $7 million every 10 minutes. That's insane.
That's a lot of money.
10 minutes.
Do you know how many War Machine sequels we can make with this? All right, folks, that's our show. Okay. War Machine. See it if you got nothing better to do.
Yeah, put it on if you're folding clothes in front of the TV. You're making dinner. You don't gotta pay attention. It's just when you start hearing the gun shoot or whatever, look over.
Yeah. You want to drive your wife out of the room and you want some time alone. It's like, if I put on this war movie, she's not going to
like it. Yeah.
So get her out of there, fellas. Am I right?
All right, well, next week. If you didn't want to see this week's movies, I don't see you wanting to watch next week. We have Reminders of Him.
No.
Yeah. Thank God this movie is out so I can stop seeing this trailer. And Undertone.
I saw that trailer and I was like, that looks pretty scary.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I want to see that.
All right.
But I feel like I haven't really looked at anything, but I feel like I saw something where like people are saying this movie's not very good.
Probably. I would not be surprised. There is a movie. It's not coming locally, but I kept seeing it on TikTok. Where the fuck is it? I thought it was a fake movie. I thought it was a movie within a movie. It just had such a dumb name. It's called Storm Rider: Legend of Hammerhead. And I'll just read it. 300 years after the Big Flood, the legend of an outlawed storm rider inspires two rebellious islanders to find out the truth about the origin of their world. It's like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max on the water, but not Waterworld.
I was going to say, it sounds like Waterworld.
But the trailer doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look great. But it was coming out, around this time. And I wonder if we'll get that. Our theater's been getting kind of weird random things. It was impossible to check. I was trying to just Google that name. I couldn't remember the name, and it was like Wave Crasher. I don't know, Agent Cody Banks. I don't know what this is called, and nothing would come up. I was looking on like Box Office Mojo. What comes out in March doesn't exist. Luckily, it came up on my TikTok again, so I was able to like look it up on IMDb. So now I know, but like, what is this movie? So I'm very excited to see it if it comes out. So, I don't know, maybe Undertone, maybe. I know you do have a movie you need to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was one of the movies we were going to talk about today.
I made the mistake of asking my wife if she wanted to watch it, so now I'm on her timeline.
So she's interested.
She read the book.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
I don't remember if I read the book or not, but
yeah, when she gets back, that's on our docket to do.
Okay,
soon.
So we'll talk about that.
I want to watch it.
All right, well, we'll talk about that as well. If we get to it, but
maybe I'll beat a game by next week.
Yeah, who knows? As the beginning of every year, it's kind of up in the air until we get into the summer season of big movies. You just never know. But the week after, that's a big Steve movie.
Product home area?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, cool. If you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.